Hey YouTubers, this is Garrett with another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about Windows XP. Windows XP, as of April the 8th of 2014, is no longer supported by Microsoft. Now there are some companies and even some national governments that have opted to pay a huge amount of money for continued support until like the end of the year. But generally speaking, for all intents and purposes, Windows XP is done. If you are a home user and you're running Windows XP, your operating system is officially vulnerable and will not receive any more security patches or updates. Now, if you have other products on your computer, such as Microsoft Office or later versions of Internet Explorer that are compatible with XP but are still receiving updates from Microsoft, then you may get updates through the Windows Update service for those products, but your operating system will no longer receive any security patches. What that means is that you are now perpetually vulnerable to any and all vulnerabilities and security holes that are discovered after April the 8th of 2014. Now, you can look here. Here is the official announcement from Microsoft. You can see it's at windows.microsoft.com. Windows XP support has ended as of April the 8th, 2014. Support and updates for Windows XP are no longer available. And they give you some options as far as how to upgrade to a newer operating system. And if you have to get a new PC, if you've got a really old computer that's only got 512 megabytes of RAM, you probably will need to upgrade hardware. But generally speaking, if you've got a newer computer that just happens to have Windows XP installed, you can probably run Windows 7 without any issues. Or if you want to get real fancy, you can upgrade to Windows 8. But if you're used to the way Windows XP looks and feels and you like that and you want something that's going to be familiar to you, I recommend Windows 7. The end result is that if you're running Windows XP, you need to upgrade to something. Windows 7, Windows 8, a Linux distribution, something that is going to continue to receive security updates and support from software vendors. As of about a week ago, I installed Avira in a Windows XP virtual machine, Avira free antivirus, and it worked just fine. At that point, the official support for XP had ended. It's only been gone for a little less than a month now. But now, if you go to Avira's website from a Windows XP machine and you download Avira free antivirus and try to run it, you'll get this lovely little message. Your Windows version is not supported by Avira. So you can expect more and more third-party antivirus companies to slowly kind of phase out their support for Windows XP, because if Microsoft is not going to support Windows XP, then why should these third-party companies continue to try and patch and secure an operating system that's not even supported by the people who created it? You can see here that AVG does still support Windows XP on here. And here's another big reason I have highlighted in one or two other videos that I think probably as soon as Vista was released, we should have upgraded from Windows XP, especially when 7 was released, because a lot of people apparently had issues with Vista. But especially when 7 was released, and that issue is user account control. Windows XP, this is the default install. I followed all the standard directions. It does not ask you to set a password for the user account. So this is the standard generic user account created when you install Windows XP. The problem is this user has complete unfettered access to the whole operating system, the whole hard drive, without any kind of further authentication or verification. We've got a little script that I wrote here. You can look in here and see that it is a standard Windows command. It's not some weird third-party software that I downloaded. But let's just pretend that I uploaded this file to a website, and let's say that I named it, free screensaver. And I said, hey, click here for a cool free screensaver that I created, right? And some unsuspecting user downloads that file and executes it. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, it must be installing my screensaver. Well, what it's really doing is it's going through and deleting everything in the C folder. So on the hard drive of the computer. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video real quick while this installs my free screensaver, and we'll come back when it's finished. So as you can see here, our free screensaver has been successfully installed. You can see that there's some things gone from the desktop here, and because we ran it just by double clicking the file, it closed the command window after it finished running. So now we're getting these errors. Files that are required for Windows to run properly have been replaced by unrecognized versions. We'll just say okay. Yeah, it's going to keep you honest about that. So let's go look around here. Now there are a lot of files that we did not have access to because of certain security settings, and because they were being used by a process that is currently running on the system. So you can go in here and see that there's quite a few files that didn't get bothered, but there's also quite a few more that were. And that command was just a built-in system command executed by a default user. I did not go in and intentionally remove any default settings on any of these files to allow me to delete them. This is just the nature of Windows XP. So let's go ahead and reboot our computer since we installed some software and see if our free screensaver works. Ah, that's a cool screensaver. Look at that. NTLDR is missing. Press Control Alt Delete to restart. Well, that's where we're at. Control Alt Delete. Well, that computer is done. So restore that to snapshot 2. So that is why, if you're running Windows XP right now, you need to upgrade to something. I'm more than willing to help you out. Post a comment or a question or something in the comments section, or send me a private message here on YouTube, and I'll be more than happy to help you or give you some advice or my opinion in upgrading. You've got all sorts of choices. You can go to Windows 7, Windows 8. If you don't want to spend any money and you don't want to, and you just use your computer for surfing the internet, or if you want to try something new, you might want to check out a Linux distribution. I run Linux on all of my personal computers, and I actually like it better than Windows. But if you need to upgrade if you're running Windows XP on any of your computers, especially if you're going to use those computers to get on the internet, because it's just a matter of time at this point. It's not if, it's when you will come into contact with some kind of catastrophic malware, and you'll wish you would have upgraded when everybody told you to. So if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, feel free to post them in the comments section below, and I'll address them as necessary. This is Garwin out. Y'all have a good one.